Howdy, everyone. It's Leslie Hassler with your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and we're coaching from the carpool, except it's not a carpool day. In fact, it's a holiday here, and I'm in my office. So I hope you're enjoying your holiday. If you're still on holiday, we've had 2 in a row, which was kind of nice, I guess, but definitely kind of ready for some normalcy. I don't know if you're the same way. I'm sitting here trying to pull up the Facebook page on here while I chat with you so I can share this. But if you are just starting to see this and you wouldn't mind sharing this with your friends, I would definitely appreciate that share, because we just try to get more people in on coaching from the carpool. So today, this month we've been talking about awakening. And it may seem like a really interesting topic to you, especially as a business coach. But today's conversation is really about isolation or connection. And yesterday I kind of did a bit of a promo. I was looking for my notes on my screen here. Hey, Nicole, nice to have you. So I did a little promo about Martin Luther King and what you were really taking away, and maybe some inspiration that you could have from his message. And I do think, there are people that are so charismatic that people naturally flock to them. I do also think that most business owners are a bit introverted. I was looking at a business today for one-page business website design, and I couldn't even tell you what this person looked like. It was kind of interesting. I mean, you really didn't know anything about him as a person. Yes, Nicole's saying hi. I will definitely do that, Nicole. You didn't know anything about him as a person. Like I couldn't get a sense of what his philosophies were. I could see his work, but I really couldn't find out about him as a person. And it just seems kind of appropriate for today's conversation when we're talking about isolation or connection. So how do business owners isolate themselves? A lot of different ways. You do get into a habit, or I think it's really easy to get into the habit of being stuck behind the computer and not getting out of your office and not having outside relationships. And so I tell people this all day long, and not everyone believes me, but I am an introvert. I really am. I have extroverted tendencies, right? I speak, I network, I do a lot of those things, but the more I give out, the more I need to recharge, quietly. And it can get to be that you get into a habit of just not getting out, of not having conversations. Entrepreneurship, guys, it can be a really lonely operation. I think that's one of the reasons why so many entrepreneurs work so long, right? Because it gets to be to where you're the only one person that can do it. And then you get to believing that you're the only one person that can do it. And so you just don't ask for help, or you don't bring in team, and you don't do a lot of the things that really build connection. Connection can happen in so many different ways. You can have employees, and sometimes that's really beneficial. You can have connection with your clients, and I hope you would have connections with your clients. But you also, in your strategic partnerships and your relationships and the people that you're having conversations with. I don't know if you've been hearing anything from anybody else out in space, and it's so interesting, like this week. It seems like everybody's going live. I just have lots of live videos in my feed. And that's all based on this idea that people are looking to make connections. Hey, Katie, good to see you. Oh, I know, I'm so thrilled to be connected. And this is what's really cool. I don't know if you've ever done this, but my VA and I are, one of our goals this year is conversations. Right? Just in having conversations to make connections with people. And so we're going through all my social media contacts and really reaching out to, people as we go through the year. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to get around to everybody in 1 year. This is a longer term kind of thing. But it was really interesting to me how many people I actually knew. Really know or have conversations with or see or interact with in some way, shape, or form on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And probably out of the first, I don't know, 50 people we looked at, there was only maybe 2 or 3 that I didn't actually know. So I thought that was pretty cool, because I don't always feel necessarily like I know everyone that's that I'm connected with. And so that's just, I guess, another example of how you can be isolated even when you're connected. But there's a lot of great benefit that you can have from connections. And I'm talking about real connections, not, hey, here's my product, don't you want to buy it? Let me know if you want to get on the phone to talk about it. That's not a connection to me. That's a sales. Katie's kind of laughing over there. That's sales, right? And there's a place and a time for that. But when you don't have a relationship with person, I think you really do need to have that initial conversation of, hey, how are you? How's it going? How's what you're doing? What are you struggling against? What opportunities do you see for yourself? Oh, by the way, that's something I can help with. I mean, that's a conversation I'll have any day of the week, right? So really look at your business and see how you're connecting. Yeah, one of the reasons it's so interesting, and I'll share one of my clients, Julie. You know, we talk about everyone comes for the workout, but they stay for the community. They stay for the connection, right? And that's really what's amazing. And I've been a part of masterminds myself where everyone knows we came for the message, but we're staying for the community. And so I think that's one of maybe your biggest opportunities that you have, is really creating a community and a connection around your business, around who you serve, your clients, the people that are just maybe scoping you out and not ready for you yet, but they're the lurkers and the suspects, if you will, that are looking at you and watching you and really going, man, that's something I know I need in tomorrow or next year. So look at your business and actually ask yourself if you're promoting an era of isolation, you know, if you're too isolated, you're too by yourself in your business, or if you're actually promoting something that builds connections and community. You know, that's one reason why I love my mastermind, is because we have such a strong community. I love seeing just when a connection happens, the beauty that 2 businesses that didn't even think they were, you know, aligned could suddenly find opportunities to create and to have fun and to serve other people to a greater level. So that's really kind of one of the bases I have for you today for connection, is really to find those opportunities and put them to work in your business. So that's it for today, guys, on coaching from the carpool. One of my goals to get these under 10 minutes. Bump. We've been like at 12. So if you have any questions, comments, you know, thinking about where you can put connections in, just comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if this is of value to you. If you've loved today's conversation, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so what I believe in, then share it and let others see it and hear it too. We're here Tuesdays and Thursdays as we're coaching from the carpool. Should be back in the carpool on Thursday. And until then, I'm Leslie Hassler with your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and we're coaching from the carpool. Have a profitable day, guys.